So this session is live stream now. Hey, brother Chin for helping us to host the session. Sister Su Ching is in.
You know, I'm always last minute.
No worry, brother. You真好啊. Unfortunately, we have you. Sorry, we also worried about the line here.
I'm always behind you all.
You are in front of us. Sister Su Ching, later after the summary, can pass it to brother Chin. Okay, Sister Mabel, sorry, I pass back the host right to you. Hey, now Sister Mabel for stepping in to help us. This is really group effort. Wow. Sorry, I belong took up budget already. They all took up budget already. In my t-shirt. Hey, okay. Now it's live streaming. I better not on the video. Okay. Now
you show after your chin lah.
Only my hair also like auntie. I better say the right words. Now you're live streaming.
Sister Su Ching said you can't hear. She can't hear.
Sister Su Ching cannot hear. Sister Su Ching.
It was me. I muted my computer. Sorry.
Okay, now you can hear you.
If his brother Chin can hear me, it will be. But yeah, we have great speakers. We found a very awesome, not one, many great speakers here. Wow. So looking forward to their sharing. This Dr. Yo staying here. We are at Sister Liang house. He shared about this journey at the landfill at Lahad Datu there and the Bajau Lao. Wow, and we thought Pinggan is like the very suffering. It's nothing compared to those two places. Then he shows some picture. You see children using the pet bottle, cut it, the bottom and slot the leg inside. That's their shoes, their sandals, and children fighting for food at the landfill with dogs. And the girls they use the reused sanitary pad, wash it. I don't know how to say, but just the picture we already. So we look forward. I think there's group effort. We can do something definitely here to support this doctor. Yeah. Okay, we come back to all of you later on that. Okay, I pass back. The time is there. 21. I think Sister Mabel need to start the session. Sister Mabel, over to you.
Sister Hsin-Ling.
Sister Su Ching, you will have to start the session, or Sister Su Ching, Diana.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Oh my goodness. Lily actually sent to me. Give me a second. Ayo. Let us start. A warm welcome to Abode Masters. Brother Joe Huang, Hualien Dharma team, brothers and sisters, to the Saturday Hualien Dharma talk. A very good morning. Let us start our session for today. Before we start, let us start the prayer song. Can you all hear? Wait now, hold on now. Haven't shared some.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas hear my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in this world. Together we pray for universal love and blessing. Loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we start, let us pay homage to the Triple Gems. Let us all rise, arms together, First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And bow to all our beloved masters who could join us today. Before we start this morning, we will hear the summary from last week first. That will be done by me. I'm so sorry. This morning I'm a bit off because I really had a late night last night. Okay. Let me share the summary from last week first. Last week we had teacher Mei Yun and the Tzu Malaysia entrepreneur trip to Taiwan. Teacher Mei Yun is a guiding light that united many entrepreneurs on a recent trip to Taiwan with her gentle might. With close affinities, she would take the lead. I'm willing, she often say, whilst planting many seeds. With positive energy in a familiar terrain, Teacher Mei Yun took courageous steps, breaking every chain. In Kaohsiung, many footprints are left behind, and photos taken are good positive memories that will forever bind. This journey of diligence took participants from days to nights. Volunteers came in droves to greet guests with pure delight. Many tailored programs were curated and all moments were spent. In Kaohsiung, lessons were gently nurtured, and more importantly, wisdom was mindfully sent. As in everything, Master's blessings is the driving force, which moves us all forward on a steady, forward-moving course. This trip resulted in many encouraged souls, creating a vibrant crew. The Kaohsiung spirit is a beacon true. Through creative participants' hearts aglow, and the Qingzi aphorism were there to guide in the flow. Teacher Mei Yun is a seasoned guide. She planned and prepared everything from every imaginable side. Brother Sun Hao chimed in with praises sung of Teacher Mei Yun's energy and her staying forever young. This laughter and tears create such a harmonious emotional blend. This is Kaohsiung's legacy. Every trip will create an amazing end. All agree that fields of blessings is where teamwork thrives, and courage leads to good and well-lived, meaningful lives. Although attendees were from many distant lands, when affinities are cherished, united we stand when we are working hand in hand. Then Master Te Shu spoke on nonviolent communications, or NVC for short. From Marshall Rosenberg's wisdom come nonviolent communications art. This first part of nonviolent communication is to move away from judgment's poison dart. The harms of life-alienating words we shun. Observations require selected words that are carefully spun. Observe without evaluating might. Only then will intelligence shine in the light. Combine them, and for sure criticism brews, resulting in closed hearts from careless words we choose. Let us foster compassion and let compassion flow. Be careful to avoid extremes that make hearts woe. Use observations to articulate what is meant. If you are speaking, be objective. If you are listening, be present. Empathy is getting in touch with life and with a life energy that's coming through from another person naturally. Deep listening is to understand the feelings at its core. When one connects with the needs of another, this path is ours to explore. True love's essence is giving, not in gain. When one is enriching lives, then compassion reigns. With enlightened love, our hearts extend to the pain in others that we deeply comprehend. In the Bodhisattva's way, such sufferings we share, and with helping hearts, Dhamma joy we will bear. When we discover our flaws, we have an opportunity to get the mending done. Truly, afflictions and enlightenment are two ends of one. Master Te Shu reminded us of Tzu Chi's treasures of love so pure, compassionate service, and virtues to endure. May all our hearts be richly blessed with treasures abundant and much love to possess. Thank you for listening. Now I'll pass over to Brother Chin to introduce the next speaker. Brother Chin, over to you.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, Sister Su Ching. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. We have today planned for us Sister Avaley, and I will call her angels along with the angels. It's going to be Sister Hsin-Ling and Sister Alan, who's going to share with us about their heart-touching stories in the UK, of course. They are more based in the UK, and that's 11:34 at night, right? Over there, it's got a cool evening, about 15 degrees, I believe, and over there. So I used to travel. I still do travel in the UK every twice a year. So now, Sister Avaley and her team, they're not new to us. They shared with us August last year, and they also shared with us the story of York, which they did in March this year. And I think it was on the same day, which I shared on the summary. So here we are, because Sister Avaley has been locked in, and we see Sister Alan also and open the Zoom together with Sister Hsin-Ling. All right, here we are. And for you to touch our hearts again, I would say, in Nottingham, I believe that you'll be sharing a story. There goes. Yeah. It's yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, brother. And good morning, brother and sister. I'm Avaley, and let's be trying to open my today we're going to sharing a apartment, and well, I would like to say that we thinking we are the glimmer of light in the Nottingham refugee apartment. Why we thinking we are a glimmer of light? Because during the pandemic, and also the Brexit, and the war happened, the Ukrainian war and the Russia. So that all this happened. It's a lot of the refugee in the UK right now, and also because all the refugee, it happened that we in UK like the refugee camp, but it's a refugee hotel, and it's run by the government, and we keep thinking how to get in touch with them, and we're trying to get in touch, but it's quite difficult until the one time during the pandemic, and we have the chance to meet a Chinese couple, and they in the hotel, and they've been detained. They've been kept in the hotel, and suddenly when we monthly visiting them, then suddenly the home office asking them to move to the apartment, and because they can't speak English, so we asking, say, can we help them? Can we be their translator, and also keep company with them and go with them to the apartment? Normally is not allowed to, but that time, because they really can communicate with them, so they let we get in. So it's quite lucky. We follow them move, and also because we moved together, and then we got the chance to go into the apartment, and that is the day we go to the Boris Code. Sorry, is a day we going to the Boris Code, and also the Boris Code is the first day they open as well. And when we monthly visiting the Boris called the refugee apartment, and we realized that this 12 first floor apartment, it got around 300 people in there. And it got a lot of the different countries. But only this boy is they from China. So I feel like he is very lonely. So I'm thinking how to make friend, to help him to make friend with all the neighbors. So we keep talking to the staff and trying to maybe get a chance to help that we can knock everyone's door, and that the Su Ching can also carrying the whole building, not only one family. So that's why we call it from one comes all the whole building. And so it's very lucky when the New Year's Eve, because we're thinking it's Chinese New Year Eve, so we should gathering together. So we bring all the food to the hot pot together, and the staff feel like this is really good idea. Also can introduce our culture to all different families. So we just say, can we do the winter relief distribution as well, if like this, if that's okay? And he say that's okay, that's good idea. So we start from that. So in the I remember we only got 2 weeks to prepare, but we because we just very quickly and to prepare and then start. Sorry. So sorry, I'm really sorry. I don't know why, but my video can play. So and this is a building in the Boris Code, and when we do the distribution, we also because they got the children as well, so we also do the stationery, and then after the then we start to realize, because the different. Yeah.
Sister Avaley, I think your bandwidth is running a bit low from your side. Maybe you want to turn off your video and you speak without your video on. Oh, because you're sharing the slide, right? I'm not sure whether it's visible, because your bandwidth is running a bit low and you get interrupted.
Is it? So should I stop my sharing? And so Hsin-Ling, can you share for me, please? Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, maybe Sister Hsin-Ling can turn on the slides and let Sister Avaley speak without the video on.
Avaley, can you turn off your video?
I already turned off.
Your video camera.
Your video camera, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you turn off your video camera and then you can speak. At the bottom left-hand corner. You can, yes. Maybe Hsin-Ling can put on the slides. Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah. You can share the screen again.
And share the screen again. Do you want to share screen for me, please?
Okay. Which do you want to play the video?
Oh yes, if that's, or we can skip the video and then I just, because the time.
21层楼高的博罗斯格公寓有130个单位，是难民家庭暂时的安身之处。志工有备而来。
And this is a little orange for you. Good luck.
挨家挨户
Oh,
，21层楼工有备而来。
Happy New Year to you. And this is a little orange for you. Good luck.
挨家挨户敲门关怀，也同步造册。这是第一次英国慈济人在难民收容公寓进行冬令发放，用笑容跨过了陌生的那一条线。
原来世界上还有一个这样子的地方，是有一个角落，是我从来没有看过的。
志工加上慈青，总共17位，同一场地连续举办5场小型发放，22个国家99户家庭得到帮助。竹筒岁月的故事最吸引人。
To encourage us every day, put a coin into the bamboo bank, and while you put the coin in, we make a good wish.
至少有把给他们种了一个善的种子吧。有些人好像刚才有一位小孩，一个好像是十几岁吧，然后他就进来，他讲，哎，我要放竹筒啊。
很震撼的一件事情，因为他们都是在领难民救济金的，本身上生活的是拮据的。
And we all have the same color. It's a love color, and the love color is in our blood. It's red.
拿到的物资依大人小孩的需求做分类，志工是双手奉上，他们也感恩回报。
80%以上大概都是回教徒，都是穆斯林，可是他们都会起尊敬心，这是我觉得很感动的一件事情。
非不得已远走他乡，相遇相惜，这也会是路途中最美的芬芳。大爱新闻真善美志工邱垂杰、王素贞，英国报道。
Thank you. Because this is our first time to do the distribution, but because it's when the first time we're doing, and we also for us it's the first time, or for all the volunteers as well. Because normally, if we want to do the distribution for the refugee, we have to go abroad. So this is the first time we're doing in UK. So we have to learn to think how to help the volunteer. Maybe it's the first time, but they can also work very smoothly with us as well. So we have to thinking how to also make the list to very quickly and on the same day. So we knocking all the floor, and also because they asking, we have to asking for their details. So and because it's still pandemic, so it's still we only allow 20 people in the room. So that's mean the 300 people we have to thinking how to do the program. So that's how we start the very special way in the Boris Code, the refugee apartment. And after this, then we go to we doing because the Ukrainian war start already. So all the UK team start to support the HQ in the Poland. And so when we in the Poland, and we start to help the Ukrainian, but we also realize one thing is the like the food, everything, the price, everything is going up, and it really affecting so a lot. So we start to thinking, the refugee in the UK must be they are struggle as well. So even like this, we still carry on in the we're just coming back to carry on working in the refugee apartment. Even we are busy with Poland, but we coming back to do the another distribution at the Ramadan. So when we do the Ramadan, the distribution, and to give them some food, because that time we realized a lot of stock is run out of the stock. Like the oil, you only allowed to buy the to battle for maximum. So we know that's the daily uses. So we just thinking we can provide them. So it also have a lot of challenges as well, but it's quite good is when we going back to doing, and they really appreciate about that as well. And when we do the Ramadan distribution, a lot of the parents come to me and to asking us, say, can we help the children to find the secondhand school shoes? So I feel like then I asking them why is the school shoes. They say, oh, because they are really struggle to find a secondhand school shoes for their kids. And then we start to looking. I start to check, and then I realized the children's the shoes in their feet is they wear the very bad and very bad condition, and also like the sleeper. So it's all like worn out, the shoes and sand. So that's why we coming back and thinking maybe we should to check every family, see what they really need. So we start to knock the door by door and check what they really needed. And for then we realize, because for the refugee, when they live there, the government will give them £40 a week, but they are not allowed to work. So they have the £40 to using for to support their life. But for them in living in UK, £40 is really difficult, because the 1 liter oil is like the £1. That time is a £2 something. So it's just only oil is a £2 something. You can thinking for you buy the vegetable or buy the food, or you buy some essential, or they maybe need to pay for their legal fees or something else. It's really difficult for them to thinking to buy for the children the uniform. So they normally will go to the charity shop or trying to find any second hand for the children, because the children growing up too quickly. For parents, they were thinking if we buy the new one, they might be, when they're growing up, it's wasting money. But we just feel, when we realize that, we feel heartbroken, because for us, we know the uniform for children is they wear the most of the time every day, because they go to school, they stay at school and then coming back. And when we going upstairs to every room to check, then we realize that they only got one set of the uniform, because when we want to make sure the size, they all getting the uniform from the washing up basket or the washing machine. So it's like they wear, and then after come back to school, and then they were putting in the washing machine straight away, and after washing and dry quickly, put in the radiator, and then wearing and then next day. So when we realize that, then we start to talk to the staff, and we would like to have the whole the list for every children, because we're thinking to give all the children the brand new one, the whole set. But the problem is that the children all different schools, and they are different sizes, different ages. So, but it's very important to give them the brand new one, is because they feel when we talk to the staff we can just buy the second hand. It's cheaper, and but we thinking no, it's not cheaper. We prefer to give the children brand new one. It's because the Su Ching is we know the one uniform, a whole set uniform is very important for every children, because they can have the confidence when they go to school. They can feel like it's kind of very exciting when they wear the new one, and they can just very exciting. They can expecting they are going to school, and they can have they will want to go to school if they can wear the new one, and not because that whole new one is it's belong to them. It's not from someone else, and then they don't want it, and then get the maybe already the dirty, and also maybe broken, and so when the staff heard it, and when the Tamika heard it, she is really touching. She feel like because she say she is she was from the different country, but she was a refugee before, and she know the feeling, and also she know when you wear different compared to others, is you normally will be bullied at school. So she also know normally in UK all the charity will give you the second hand. She never met a charity will give the people the brand new. So she is in tears. And we told her, say, because our master teach us when we giving, we should give what we like and what we want, not what we don't want to for others. That's very important. And we want to give these children is not just a set of the uniform, because the uniform is mean a kind of respect. We hope they can, when they put the uniform on, they also can feeling the joy of go to school, and also they can have the confidence from our love, and they also can start to have the confidence for themselves as well. And the problem is the measurement is really difficult, because they never have the chance to do maybe their whole life they don't know what mean sizes. So they normally they get the shoes they putting on, and then see is a fit or too small or too big, is okay or not. So they don't know what mean size. So when we do the size, or we asking, especially language is different, so normally we're really easy to misunderstanding. So when the day we do the distribution, it's a lot of the challenge, because after we start to do the distribution, then they say the clothes is the size is not right, and or some people, like when they see when we put the shoes or uniform out, they would like it to have it, but they are not registered, so they request, but we don't have, we just put the right amount on the list. So it start to arguing again, and they start to arguing with the staff. So the Tamika just told them, said, no, it's we writing down and we purchase what you request. So it's your choice. So when we heard that, we told the staff as well. We told the Tamika, saying, no, Tamika, it's okay if they don't mind. We can change it for them. I know it's they write the size, that's their request. But some people, some of them, maybe their whole life they don't know what mean sizes. They normally will put the size on their, just they're putting up and then thinking this is right or this is wrong. So maybe that's why it's very easy to make it wrong. So especially different company or different sizes. So it's okay to misunderstanding, and also we don't mind to just return for them. Maybe it will take more time for us, and also extra work, and but for us, we were thinking for the Tzu Chi is what the Tzu Chi give is a sense of respect. It's a pure love. It's not the compromise, because for the children, they normally the life already, like the children of just for the children, because they often they need to compromise to a lot of different way to accept the aspects of life, including what they eat, what they use, and including the way of living, and even their life experience. But not from Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi hope can give them is pure. So we don't mind to do all the work again, and just give them what they need, and that's Tzu Chi's way. So it's like this refugee, he's from the Liang, and his name is Siwen, and he's supposed to not on the list, because he should be moving to the new accommodation on the day, but because got some problem of the transportation issues, so he is not moving out. And because he is not moving out, so he come to me to ask him, say, can I just request a set for my daughter? And but because it's not on the list, so I told him, say, can you just wait? If we finish the whole distribution, and then we can just if we have something left, then it is suitable the girls, and then she can have it, or otherwise we have to purchase. Then he said okay. Then when his daughter on the day, he very lucky and got one set is just her size, and she putting on straight away to try it, and the student just take this photo, and when student said okay, you already try on and it's fit, so you can take it off, but she said no, this is mine, I don't want to take it off, this is mine. So Siwen told me, say that my daughter don't want to take the clothes off, she put the uniform on, and then just leave it on, and then keep saying this is mine. Then for me it's a very touching, because when we heard it, we feel this is mine is quite common, very easy. We heard it from my children, from my family, we heard it all the time. But this is mine for this little girl is very that she's rare to say it. She is very difficult. She doesn't have so many things is belong to her. That's why she say this is mine. So we are happy to her. She have something is belong to her, and then she know it's belong to her. And like this Lydia, why that because she is her feet is really big. You can imagine she only 14 years old, but she put her feet is a 8 UK size 8, so it's quite big, and so it's difficult for her to buy the shoes as well by herself, and especially for the second hand, it's really difficult. So we are happy she finally can get her uniform, and the day the older children, they got their own their home own set the uniform, and they are really happy as well. So for us, we just feel like we hope we can be like the gleaming of the light. It's because we don't know where they come from, and also we don't know where are they going to head to. And we don't know what the religion they are, but it doesn't matter. For us, we like to we shine like a gleaming light, because we know we are not sharp. We hope we can just we might not be able to change in their life and change to help them to cross the thing they're suffering right now, but we can like the gleaming of the light. We can be with them and also hope their life is not totally dark. And thank you for listening my sharing. And now it's passed to Hsin-Ling.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Sister Avaley. I've always been touched by Avaley's passion and compassion. She has been leading the distribution project in Boris Court in this refugee accommodation for quite a while. As she said, that this is our first time in the UK that we have the opportunity to hold distributions for refugees, and with different items each time according to their needs of the season. So we had a lot of experiences, I would say, that we didn't have before. For example, we had the experience in distributing the food. Is quite common, but then we also distributed stationery, school stationaries, and now the school uniform. These are all very, I would say, new to the Tzu in UK volunteers. So we've been experienced lots of thinking and thought-provoking process as well. So what I learned from most was this master's teaching, or master's taught us overseas volunteers that we live under the sky and tread on the soil, and we must give back to the community when benefiting from their resources. And I think individual volunteers, we are all working very hard in the community and to reach out and to give love. But then in the organizational level, as a charity in the welfare states in the UK, it actually requires to stay informed about the regulations, the law, and the current social issues, and ensure the protection of the fundamental human rights of the individuals living here. So the fundamental human rights are universal, but the legislations are different, varies in countries. So in the UK, it's a welfare state, so there always like discussions how we allocate our resources and our funds, for example. So we see these refugees, as Avaley showed in previous pictures, they live in the bright accommodations with their own rooms. And while they may appear to have better living conditions compared to refugees in other countries, for example, in this camp, temporary camp, and below pictures. So even though they may seem better off than other refugees in other countries, but it doesn't necessarily mean that their quality of life meets the standards of this country in the UK. And I think being aware of this is our duty as a UK charity. Especially we have to avoid making stereotypical assumptions. And so when we look at the Charity Commission, it's the UK charity regulator, sets out what it means by the prevention of relief of poverty. So it actually aligned many ways in what we learned in Tzu Chi and what Master taught us and the Buddhism Dharma. So it says that there can be no absolute definition of what poverty might mean, since the problems are giving rise to poverties are multidimensional and cumulative. So, so like Master said as well, that so it's not like rich people is can be poor in heart or in different ways as well. So in the past, the UK courts have tended to define poverty by reference to financial hardship. But now in this current circumstances, they say that the poverty includes many disadvantages and difficulties arising from or cause the lack of financial or material resources. So it actually says that the poverty can be the causes and also be the consequences. So the prevention of relief of poverty is not just about giving financial assistance to people who lack of money. And the Charity Commission also recognizes that preventing or relieving poverty can be by addressing both the causes and the consequences of poverty. Of all these long words, I just want to say that I think that the giving school uniform is a right action, because it's important. I want to point out is that from Tamika's sharing here, that they have seen children being bullied because they didn't have school uniforms, and it is it's a very serious problem in the UK, especially in this country. Now the bullying at school is very it's being paid a lot of attention at school, and so it's important that we find out this problem and see a deeper problem in this refugee accommodation, and we address that and we take action on that, and then and the children are well being taken care of, and they are happy what they have as their own uniform. So we also found that there's a research also suggests that the changes to charity to enable reciprocity require recipients to be seen as people beyond their vulnerabilities and recognized position. So this is also aligned with what Master told us about gratitude, respect, and love. So when we give, we must give with gratitude, with respect, and love. So although there are many charities, like over 20,000 charities in the UK, but why we stay in Tzu Chi, I think it's because of Master's wisdom and teaching, and those teachings really really go beyond what the social situation, the social values, and go beyond the current social values, and even it can be universal across time and space. So with this giving back and with this this value of reciprocity, That's why in the Tzu Chi distribution, we always introduce the spirit of Bamboo Bank, because it's actually everyone has the right and power to give. And they also, like the refugee kids, they also respond to the Bamboo Bank very very keen, and they what they give also not just coins, but also their notes of love as well. So we found that many these loving notes in the Bamboo Bank, and they in different language as well. So for example, there was one heart drawing by a 5-year-old girl. So I think this represents that they really feel the love in this distribution, in our distribution. And it's not just about material, but also the pure love, as Avaley said. So in full distribution, there is a volunteer here. Adam, I will show later. And also the sign language, one family, the volunteers go on stage and lead the sign language and encourage all the audience join together, and we can see the laugh on the face. And this was interesting cards. So there are so many refugees and residents in this accommodation from different countries, and they speak different languages. And our volunteer sister Su, she came up with a great idea that with this a paper of a flag, and they could just point out the flag where they're from, where they are from, so they don't have to speak. And so this is actually a good way to bridging multiple language barriers in this diverse apartments. And also the school uniform distribution day is actually near. It was actually near the International Mother's Day. So we also held a little tea serving ceremony for the families, for the kids. And it surprised me as well, because I didn't know that the kids would also kneel down to their parents as well. It's a very touching moment, because for me, it's probably more like Asian culture, but actually they can adapt quickly in this serving ceremony, and showing their love to their parents and their respect. So I think this is a very, very good event and moment. So the school uniform distribution, so we can see that we packed the school uniform individually for each kid. And on the back, each bag, they have their own name tag. And the name tag, there are cute cartoon drawings and also Jing's aphorism. So these cards were hand-drawn and designed by Sister Yating on the right hand side picture. And Sister Yating also brought her daughter to the event as well. And this is a very cute picture that the kids it's very, very, very nice that the Yating's family, even though these little kids can take in this moment and do the giving as well. So Adam here in the with the green shirt, he is also like Serwin. He is also a refugee resident here in the accommodation. But for the past distributions, he has been our volunteers coming forward to help in the distribution as well. So in the event, he always put on the formal put on the shirts and present very neatly and formally. So it's the way he showed the respects and to Tzu Chi and join us as a volunteer. And he's been saying that he enjoyed the events and he believes that all families are grateful for Tzu Chi coming here. And yeah, this is the group photos, and we have volunteers, and it's a great team with the Tzu Chi volunteers and refugees and apartment staff, and also little kids, little bodhisattva as well. So to end my presentation, so a master told us that to liberate sentient beings from sea of suffering and attain happiness is essential to center on awakening their inner wisdom by employing skillful means as the tools. And once the suffering of sentient beings have been eradicated, bodhisattvas then impound Dharma to enable all sentient beings to experience happiness. So now I'm passing on to Sister Ellen.
Hi. On the recent visit to Boros Court, we gave every child their own bag of brand new uniforms that fits them perfectly. Our volunteers went knocking on every family's door to physically be there and measure their size for them. On each bag, there is a name tag attached that was specially designed for each one of them. After receiving the bag from our volunteers, I saw pure happiness in their eyes. In the lives of refugee children, the simple joy of receiving something nice as a gift is almost non-existent. This bag that we prepared may be the first present they have ever received. Every parent's deepest desire is to provide the best for their children and see them happy. However, with the financial constraint, refugee parents cannot afford the little luxuries that bring smiles to their children. A lot of the kids only have one pair of flip-flops to wear. They don't have proper shoe wear. They can only wear clothes that others have discarded from charity shops. Owning something new is a rare and distant dream to them. I'm so glad that we have brought them brand new uniform and witnessed this dream come true moment. The delight of something new, the happy feeling of being seen and valued. Seeing their smiles on that day was a precious moment. The same goes to their parents. They are glad to know that someone cares about them and their children. Refugee children used to grow up with other children who share the same difficult circumstances. However, after these refugee children arrive in the UK, they have encountered a new reality. There are other kids in school who come from different upbringing, and unfortunately, many of these children struggle to understand the hard times refugee families have been through before arriving in this country. When children wear dirty uniforms that don't fit, they become more different and unacceptable by other children. Challenges like bullying or discrimination may arise. It is nice to know that now they can all stand tall with confidence in school. During this visit, we have also organized a tea ceremony for the families. I asked the children, "Mommy and Daddy love you and look after you every day. Is there anything you want to say to them?" In the beginning, they were a bit shy. And then I'll teach them to say "I love you" and ask them to give their parents a massive hug. It was a very emotional moment. I can see the parents were smiling, but their eyes were tearing up. Being a parent is hard. Living in this new environment as a refugee is even more difficult. Every day, they live in a mixture of hope and fear. the fear of uncertainty and not knowing where the future holds. Deep down, they are very scared, but they need to stay strong for their children. Hearing their children say, "I love you" out loud shows a sense of appreciation and recognition of what they have done for the family. It makes them feel like all the hard times and sacrifice is worth it. In this challenging journey, no matter where they are, what truly fills their hearts with happiness is being together as a family. The warm hug of love from their children makes them forget about all worries. The challenges ahead don't feel as bad anymore as long as they stay close together. It was necessary to have the tea ceremony to keep them going. We always like to play the song One Family when we are in Boros Court. We play the song with videos showing Su Ching volunteer in different refugee camps, helping people like them. We love to hold their hands and remind them that just like what we do in the video, we are also here to embrace them with love and open arms. In this challenging new life journey, they are not on their own. We might not know each other, but we are here to help because we love them and care about them. I cannot imagine being in their position. They have very little control over their own lives. They live in anxiety every day, knowing that at any time they might be sent away, back to where they began, and all their struggle will restart. They have spent a lot of money and effort escaping danger and bring their families to this country. The thought of going back feels like nothing. After everything they have been through, finally arriving in this country, living under protection and having the hope to build a new and bright future here, it is scary not knowing how long this calmness they found will stay. They do not know what the next step will be. It's like walking on a path with no clear signs. But I can tell from their facial expression and how tightly they hold our volunteers' hands towards the end of our visit, that this was a very successful visit because we have brought warmth to their heart and remind them that there are people who genuinely care about them and are here to support. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Sister Avaley, Sister Hsin-Ling, and Sister Alan. Okay, we got a few minutes to wrap this up. If there's any question, you can just speak up, or we can post it in the chat. So we have the three sisters, Sister Avaley, Sister Hsin-Ling, and Sister Alan, who share with us the heartwarming stories of the work in the UK. Now, this is, as I was listening, this is a very clear story of bringing forth the caring heart to develop the serving mind. It's obviously master teachers, at the end of the day, it is the mind that we need to develop. The development of the mind have to come from the heart. And it's only when the heart is virtuous can a mind can develop in wisdom. So I guess I can see from Sister Avaley sharing, you went through difficult conditions despite the pandemic period, increasing number of refugees coming from the Ukraine war, increasing costs at the same time, but that did not deter you at all. So, and that was the one that actually drove you up to step up your efforts. And I think kudos to you and your team to face those challenges. And I think the other one is thinking of ways to unite them. And I thought the reunion dinner during Chinese New Year, I thought that was brilliant. And at the same time, bringing the refugees together. And in 21 countries, there's a lot from different very diverse background, and being sensitive to the period of Ramadan and distribute the food to them. I think that touches, not only touches them, I think when I heard that, I thought it was very, very mindful of you all to do that. I think from the point of the amount of meticulous effort that you put into for getting the school uniform, the shoes, that also shows the heart that you develop in caring and having the mind that you need to drive to serve them. And I think for Sister Hsin-Ling, thank you for reminding us not to make stereotype judgment. And I think that was a very clear message, despite we see the accommodation that they have to wear, and the causes and condition are very complicated and very complex. And Sister Ellen, you at such a very young age to do this sort of work, it brightens up the world, and it's excellent. And we got to really get a lot of younger people to get involved and to make this world a brighter place to live, especially when we're going through very dark times at the moment. Now, I'm very mindful that it's 12:30 at midnight, right, for you in the UK. So I suggest we open up a video. I'm not sure whether you're going to be staying back to listen. Open a video. We just take a photo. Sister Maple, if you can, take the photos for this group. Let's open up a video before our sisters have to retire off bedtime, way past the bedtime. Okay, so Sister Maple.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you can take a photo. Or maybe Sister Stephanie, she's also quite good in taking photos.
Okay, with pleasure, I will. I'm using my handphone, so I'll take some time. But in the meantime, I'll just like to commend all the sisters in the UK for doing such a wonderful job. Just listening to the sharing, truly like what Brother Chin described, it's really being the light in the time of darkness. And eventually it comes, the light is going and it warms the heart. So it's a truly amazing sharing. I'm really grateful for that. And 加油.
Sister Stephanie, your daughter Masita was there too in this.
Really?
Yeah. In the last year winter distribution.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Hsin-Ling, for inviting her and for your care also for her. Thank you. We're really truly one family. And my heart just warms up listening to the sharing. It's really that we can learn from each other so much.
Thank you so much, sisters from the UK. I hope to meet you up one day in my next trip to the UK. Thank you. All right, so in the next session, we have a couple, Sister Angie and Brother David, who's going to share with us their story, the journey on commissioning. Sister Angie and Brother David, they are very diligent couple. They do a lot of volunteering work. I understand from Brother David, you cover practically all sorts of volunteering work, and very much, I guess very much like an octopus, your hands are all over. And obviously, it's an inspiration to all of us. And I understand, Sister Angie, you're also quite active in education. Okay, so here you are. The journey on your commissioning is so to inspire a lot of us. All yours. You're muted though.
Oh, okay. Sorry about it. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Right. Thank you, Brother Chin, for the introduction. Yes, our affinity with Su Ching was in year 2018 when we enrolled for the parents-child bonding class. And the rest is history. Back to our experience during our certification in Taiwan. From the moment we landed and checked in at Jingsi, there were so many brothers and sisters welcoming us with happy faces and open hearts. Okay. Even though it was already quite late in the evening, right? There were so many things already in place and ready for us. It was like coming back to a warm home.
I also feel like that, and that times I had anxiety and anxious of my two children back home. But at the moment I stepped into the Jingsi, it's really felt like home. And the heartwarming care by the brother and sister helped me to let go of my worry.
Yeah, thanks and感恩 to these brothers, sisters, and volunteers. Although the 4 to 5 days schedules were very compact and comprehensive and regimented, I think it was very fruitful and helped build our character, our will and discipline. To finally meet Master face to face was very humbling. I was placed at the first row, second seat from the aisle. So when she walked into the hall, she's so gracious and her steps are so light. And at the time we were in the bow position, and I couldn't see or hear her approaching. Yet when she passed by, I had goosebumps, like some form of electricity ran through my body,
Okay, for me, when I saw Master enter the hall, I felt like that she is so 慈悲, it's like merciful and gentle. And when the song, the Seed of Remembrance was played, my tears start to flow automatically. I'm really touched. First time I listened the song.
Since I was at the front row, I could see Master face to face at a very near distance. Although Master looks fragile and at times had the difficulty speaking, she still continued, and her words and messages in fact hits every point with strength.
Yeah, I'm also very impressed with the Master. Even though she need to use a lot of effort to talk, she still continue and really want to teach us and guide us to walk the Bodhisattva path. Therefore, we must continue follow her journey and help others.
One of the message was it is an affinity that we meet and walk the Bodhisattva path together. Hence, we must seize it together in every steps, together in one heart and mind. Master kept saying, we are running out of time. So to me, we really ran out of time, right? With technology advancement, the world we now live are less human. People are obsessed with materialistic things and created a lot of waste. Yet, if we do not misuse it and instead use it properly and to our advantage, for example, during the pandemic lockdown, we could still have online Dharma classes. We could still reach out to our families, friends, and care recipients. And we even send aid to help other countries hit by disasters. So it overall, in terms of, we really ran out of time. Another areas that we should seize is promoting vegetarian and care for environmental issues.
It was also humbling and so touching to see so many Su Ching bless their walk to the Master teaching and walk this path together and to continue Su Ching journey. They are very self-assured, passionate, and take a pride to say that we are Su Ching people I believe everyone here are too.
So also we are very grateful to all the boat masters for their teachings, reminding us that the Dharma practice is a long journey to clean up our mind, work together harmoniously. Every one of us have our roles and responsibilities, cooperate with each other and help each other, and many more advices and teachings for us to bring back and practice. See, when Master placed the tag on my chest, it is a confirmation that all in all, we should not waver and continue to seize the affinities to do good and continue to reach out and help the less fortunate and assist them for a better life and transform and inspire them to help others in return and spread the seed of great love. Yep. So yeah, that's all. Yeah, Kanan for everyone for listening.
Yeah, that is our
Thank
story.
you.
Thank you so much, Sister Angie and Brother David, and reminding us, transforming our hearts to great love. Obviously, all the work that you do is an inspiration to all of us, and Dharma is the one that for us to learn. At the same time, obviously, as much as we do to develop our hearts, at the same time, we also need to learn the Dharma to develop the mind. And more importantly, like what Master always say, whatever you learn in the Dharma, you must apply it and not just stay with you in between our ears. So both of you actually show a lot to a lot of us about what you can do with what you have learned. Well, next we have Sister June. Sister June, you're here, and that was the same batch as you, I guess. You know Sister June, right? Your commission together. So Sister June, well, I know Sister June mainly because the work we are doing in the some of the work we're doing on the education side together with Sister Stephanie. And Sister June, you got any slides you want to share?
Yes. Hi, good morning. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please do. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you see?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
All yours.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Very grateful for this opportunity to share. And today I would like to share with you my personal journey. Sister Angie and Brother David has touched a lot about the feelings of returning to a boat, but mine actually started in 2019. Okay, before 2019, I never thought I would be commissioned or I want to get commissioned. But in 2019, something changed. My home brother went back for his commissioning trip. I had the blessed opportunity to actually go back with him together with my youngest daughter. And at that moment, on the day he was commissioned, I saw Master enter the Jingsi Hall. That was a very emotional moment for me. And when I first saw her, I thought, wow, she looks so frail and yet she could do so much. At that point, it wasn't even MCO yet, you know. So it wasn't even MCO and you know, subsequently to that, then we realized she's doing even more than, you know, at that point, she was already looking very frail. And to me, you know, I could never forget that moment. And also a special shout out to all these people, my benefactors, my two mentors, the community mentor, Sister Jinting, and my English group mentor, Sister Kam Fong, and of course, Master Chen Yan. Without them, I would never have gone on this journey. Yeah. And next is, I actually went a day earlier with the Tui Fu, and I was so impressed with how how organized the whole the whole organization is, and how much Tzu Chi volunteers actually take pride, from the lining up, color coding, to even like taking pictures, how they manage to stand. And all this is in a span of just 5 minutes. Everybody just self-arrange. Yeah.
In case 因为我去印度，我觉得
So this was a very organized organization, and everything is done so well. And of course, initially I had a lot of reservations back then. It's like, why I need to wear uniform, and why this, a lot of whys. But you know, when it comes to this moment, everything just becomes clear. It's like a cloud has lifted from my mind. And before I left, a brother from the community actually said, oh, my hand bracelet is actually a bit loose. Since you're going back to Hualien this time, could you maybe bring it back to the Sifu to get them to fix it? You know, he will bear the cost and all that. But lo and behold, when I reached Luzhou that night, there was this sister who actually helped Sifu to do all the hand bracelet. And I managed to get it done within 5 minutes and form a very good affinity with this sister. Yeah, so you know what, the bracelet that we have can actually be fixed and repair if any of brothers and sisters are wondering. And the night after my commissioning, it was actually the eve of my birthday. I commissioned on the eve of my birthday, but on the 18th, my group 72, the group that I was in, including the Sing Fu, the lady at the back row, second, wearing spectacles next to Sister Su In, she actually, you know, together with the group, celebrated my birthday there. So it is indeed a very heartwarming scene. And of course, when Master pinned the name tag, and way before then, during when we were at the hall, Gratitude Hall, getting ready, and the Dui Fu, Sister Su In pinned up the flowers and all that, it was such a surreal moment. It was a very touching, very peaceful, and very emotional moment. And of course, before I left, one brother actually told me, you know, everybody's gonna have like a lot of emotions when they meet Master, but you swallow that emotion, because that's the only time you get to see her so clearly. So whatever you do, hold on to your tears, hold on to your emotions, and just look at her. And I did exactly that. And very grateful also for my family to be able to join me for the commissioning ceremony. And in addition, my late mom always wanted to go with me to Hualien for the commissioning ceremony, but unfortunately she didn't make it. But I actually brought her Long Dong card with me all along the way, so just to fulfill her wish. And finally, we also take this as a holidaying journey and bonding with the children by visiting different Jingsi Hall and meeting people that we usually meet only online. For example, the picture on the left is when we went to Kaohsiung to meet teacher Mei Yun and her team from the Kaohsiung Book Club. It was teacher Mei Yun's energy is just, she shared last week, I'm not sure if any brothers and sisters was online. Her energy is just amazing. And once you get to know like a team and dedication and perseverance, you will actually know that this is what I want. This is what, for myself, this is what I want to do really lifetime after lifetime. And also we went to Guandu Jingsi Hall. It's one of the newer Jingsi Hall where you are allowed to wear your shoes inside the hall. And they have a family mart selling all vegetarian food, meals. You know, it's just amazing to be there. And from the guide, the guide took us all around. The place really spoke Dharma without words, and it's very refreshing because in order to try and bring new people to Jingsi Hall, to attract people, you actually can get to wear your shoes inside this Jingsi Hall. And I encourage brothers and sisters, if you ever go to Taipei, to visit this Guandu Jingsi Hall. It's also home to our Ta'ai TV station. And lastly, I will never forget my group 72. where we had a lot of wonderful sisters, where we bonded over 5 days. And the bonding of 5 days will leave an everlasting memory to me. Okay, and also these are the volunteers from my community. Although I couldn't be in the same group as them, but you know, we also cherish every moment that we could, and we managed to take pictures when we were back at the abode. On that day, when we went back to the abode, it was raining, so that's why we managed to have a lot of moments taking pictures. Okay, and this one is also a blessed affinity from a brother who's very good in photography. We bumped into him at the Lotus Pond just in Jingsi Hall. He took this picture for us. He was from Johor Bahru. So this picture reminded me of no mud, no lotus. So we all need virtuous friends, because we cannot do it alone in this big organization, because inevitably, like what Brother Chin said, our minds will go everywhere, our hearts. So it's very important that we have virtuous friends to keep us steadfast on this path. And this was taken from the Volunteers Morning Assembly this morning, not this morning, sorry, this week on Monday morning. Master Terang shared that missions are for those who have the courage to shoulder, for they will have endless strength. Yeah. So like I said, it's not an easy path, and neither will it be a straightforward path. But I think with vow, we will have that endless strength. And for myself, I vow to actually carry Master's rice bowl. It's a difficult but not impossible vow. And also, since coming back from Hualien, I've actually tendered my resignation so that I will have more time to commit myself to Tzu Chi. Yeah, with that, I end my sharing. Gan En for listening.
Sister June, you're so touching. And just to let you know that the Brother Alan, which is the home brother for Sister June, we were in the same batch of commissioning. In fact, we were sharing a room. Our bed was next to one another. So that was the affinity that I have with the family, and that was in 2019. And obviously, I've been meeting Sister Brother Alan occasionally at Jingsi Tang. Now, we got 3 newly commissioned volunteers. We have Sister Angie, Brother David, and Sister June. Tell us that the journey that now that you've been through, what would you do? I think the greatest challenge is in any path that we walk, especially in Tzu Chi, is how are you going to hand over this torch of light that brightens our path and spread this seed of love to others, especially to the younger generation. So maybe we can hear from all 3 of them now they've been through the journey, and for obviously so Sister June, how she was inspired when she went to see or rather witness the commissioning of the home brother there, Alan. So maybe you hear from Brother David, Sister Angie, and Sister June. I'm interested. Seriously, I find it extremely not easy. Okay, about especially younger generation. And for you to pass the torch from one generation to another, it got to be really inspiring. Okay, yeah. Brother David.
So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you know, the younger generation nowadays are more into technology, you know, with all these Facebook, you know, things like that. So yeah, it's really not easy, but I think, well, the first thing before we how to say want them to or want people to join or walk this path, I think we ourselves should should practice or show it, you know, for them to emulate. So yes, I think first and foremost we should transform ourselves first. We should always do that, and doing more and being treating people, showing compassionate. I think that's the way lah. So rather than just saying in words, you know, showing them, you know, you should go down to the ground to just like what we are doing now, all of us are doing now, you know, help people, showing compassionate, doing recycling, you know, get your hands dirty. And that's the way, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Sister Angie there.
Hang on, she's
okay. Our Sister Angie is coming back. Sister June.
Yes.
How would you? What maybe your experience and journey you travel on? And I noticed you have got your children engaged. All three of them. I've seen them in action.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, yes. I mean, you got a very touching story, the condition that you face. And obviously, it's very touching of you to say, well, I'm going to come back and I'm going to spend more time. I'm going to resign from my job. I'm going to dedicate my life to do master's work. Now, imagine that you got a group of youngsters. Obviously, your children, that your children become inspiration to the younger ones. How would you try to engage? Like, for example, your involvement into with the younger students, to their parents. Maybe you can share some of the stories that you've been through.
Yeah,
I will
sure.
come back to Sister Angie later. Yeah, Sister June.
I think Brother David actually nailed it. You know, it's a service. It's really like a role model, leadership by example. So what I do with my children, or I mean, if I return back to the time why we wanted to join PCBC, it was also because being parents, it doesn't come with a dummy for parents book, you know. There is no 101 and no dummy books for parents, no manual. So basically what I always wanted to do was to be a role model to my children. So the best way to being a role model, because we've been taught traditionally, you know, if I'm the parent, you listen. But having spent so many years overseas, that is not the way. So I really wanted to be a role model, but you also cannot be too much of a friend, because then the lines get blurred. There needs to be some discipline instilled. So you've got to give them that box where they can grow and develop freely. So the best way is when they see us doing, they will tend to follow, you know, by example. So I'm very grateful with my three children. And of course, you know, with without Tzu Chi, I don't think it will be like that. It will be an alternate universe with very, very different consequences. Yeah. So whenever there is activities, I will encourage, even out of the 10 times when I ask them, 9.5 times they reject me, there is still that half a time where they will say yes. So never give up. It's the same of trying to, you know, open all doors for everybody. Sometimes this may not work. So it's a trial and error process. Even that half a time, then I would be grateful and I would persevere. Yeah. So and also it helps to share with other parents the journey, because I noticed through PCBC, through even the TCJ class, a lot of parents are going through the same problem. And if we actually verbalize and talk about it, then they will realize, hey, it's actually, I'm not the only one. So as the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. So, and children and the second generation, being the second generation, they usually don't take their parents' words so to heart. If another person could influence them and influence them in the right way, why not? Yeah. So it's usually like, you will get other volunteers to try and influence the children. If I ask them, the halftime is probably because somebody else within the organization asked them. So for that also, I'm very, very grateful. Yeah, Kanan.
Wonderful. Brother David, you brought up a very relevant point about youngsters. They are interested in technology, right? Social media and so on and so forth. I mean, obviously, based on your experience, and especially your early involvement in PCBC, how, maybe Sister Angie, you can brief your view, how do you, attract them and pull them away from spending so much time on the social media? And obviously they got a lot of Changi gadgets which is in the market right now. How do you inspire them and pull them in?
Actually, for me, last time when I joined PCBC, that time I thought it's my children problem. Actually, it's not. Actually, it's the parents. That's me. It's me, because I'm like the army commander, yes, I'm like a commander. So when
you're a tiger mom.
Yes, tiger mom, yes. So when I say one, you cannot say two, that's all. So but it's growing up the communication between me and my children is like, why come like that? So I like to go to see, because I want to have this path for my retirement time. That times then I say, okay, let join this PCBC, let the children change, going same path with me. So when I joined that time, then I feel that, oh my God, it's not my children problem. Actually, it's me. So we need to convince, we need to influence the children that you have to do you have to sharing your love. Like last time, that time when I joined, they're talking about the Button Tao. So the Button Tao, then only I know that, oh, okay. So that times I've slowly changed. So how to influence the teenager and talk to them? Actually, you have to use your heart, use your love and influence them. And maybe you have to say, for example, when I doing commission time at Jingshi, the Taiwan, then I say that, hey, children, you are now at home, so please online look at mommy graduation. Like I get the graduation already, so please join in the online. When I coming back, I share with my two kids, one boy, one girl. So he said, mommy, actually very touching.
Oh.
He say, then my brother also, actually my brother Marcus also, he said very touching, and like I want to go there. Oh, very good. So I think all the activity for me, we have to share with them. And what is your feeling? You have to let them feel also. And also, when any activity from Tzu, I will try to approach them to join in. What is the good thing? Hey, you don't push them like, oh, we have to do work, we have to work, to enjoy, because their thinking is different. Actually, the youngsters are all very clean. It's not like us. So we can change slowly. But you have to take time.
Of course.
By the way, same issue, 9.5 times is no.
But try to approach that. Oh, I want them to accompany me. If not, then I alone. Some sort like that. You have to.
Even if they don't join, we still do share. Hey, today we what activity we did, or who we have helped. Things like that. So to at least introduction to them.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, they will follow the path later on.
Right. Even 9.5.
It's not right.
That's true. That's true. Even 9.5 times or 9.8 times for that matter, or 9.9 times, but it's still a 0.1 time or 10% chance, right? That
So
the
you
gap.
have to continue to approach them non-stop. At the end, you will still can, okay lah, one time lah, okay, no more. So that is the things lah. We have to be patient on the children.
That's wonderful. I know obviously for the Su Ching lineage to pass through many generations, we need the younger ones to come through.
Yeah.
And definitely the PCPC is certainly a platform, and how you all get engaged, how you all have the affinity to be here. And I'm Sister Angie, I mean, it's a wonderful realization. You know, the problem is not, the problem is with me. Wow, I mean, yeah. I think that's a great realization, and not many people would have that realization, especially from Tiger Mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for the hearing. So I need to leave because today I actually have a training.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, suppose the session is
my home brother will continue, but I have to. Okay, thank you.
Kanan sister. Well, we're supposed to have the session until 8:30 today. Now, any questions for our new commissioners and on a journey? Are you still there?
Just want to say congratulations, and we've learned so much. They may be newly inspired or aspired, but definitely they have a wealth of wisdom and a lot of wisdom that we can all learn from both brothers, Brother David and Sisters Angie, and especially of course our Sister June. And I think Sister June truly brought out a very important, I think gave me a lot of inspiration today. To carry on the missions is actually to grow our strength. So that is a very inspiring and encouraging thing to hear today. Kan so much. Kan. And Brother Chen, wonderful hosting. Kan. So much.
So back to Brother David and Sister June. You know, I'm trying to reflect back upon myself. My first interest in the Buddha Dharma was when I was 17 years old. I was still in school, but at that time, obviously, I don't have those platforms like we do right now. But as I reflect back, you know, despite your interests at that age, the worldly condition is such that you have to be focusing on your studies, your career. After your studies, then your career, right? And then your family comes in until later on, the condition is a lot more favorable for you to get onto an earnest practice, like what Sister June just mentioned, that, you know, she decided to really spend full time, leave the job. Now, the teenagers today, obviously, the world in some ways is getting a little more complicated because you've got so much learning that they have to go through. At the same time, opportunities are available. And not only that, the opportunities are not more available today compared to in the past online, which means that, like what Brother David is saying, they are so engaged on the technology side. Obviously, the inspiration that you give to them, the stories that you share with them, try to inspire them. I'm just wondering, once there is this 0.5 times that they may be open, do you see that this 0.5 time is more open at a certain time of their life. It's more at the teenager level, it's more in middle 20s, or more in the 30s, based on your observation. So, Brother David and Sister June.
I would, because my eldest now is only still 19 years old. So I believe I would tend to think that probably at the age of 20 plus, because at this moment,
after they finish their studies.
Yeah, after they finish their studies, and also I think their maturity level at this stage is still not reached there yet. But no, nevertheless, I think we will still continue to do our sharing or exposure, right? At least there's a some sprinkle of seeds is already planted there.
Okay.
At least we expose them, and they know know that the both of us are doing Tzu Chi work rather than going out or doing some other things, you know, like I mentioned just now, as a role model. Yeah.
Okay.
So
right.
Yeah, I would think probably 20 plus. That's the time they may start have that thoughts lah. Yeah.
Okay. What about Sister June?
I think personally, for me is this: we should never underestimate the power of planting a seed. Yeah, it may not germinate even this lifetime, but we have to keep planting it, keep nurturing it, and hopefully that one day it will sprout. We don't know when. It's all affinity. Yeah, we got to keep telling them, we got to keep encouraging them, we got to keep encouraging their friends to encourage them, you know. So I think Brother David's son and my son used to be classmates as well. So it's a good, you know, the reason why the kids goes to, you know, Tzu Chi International School through Blessed Affinity, and also because it's the environment. We want good environment. We want all the perfect conditions to plant the seed. Yeah. So that's from me.
Okay. I wish during my time there was a Su Chi International School. Obviously, when that didn't happen. I think what you brought up, that Su Chi International School platform gave you the very wonderful condition to plant that seed. Now, I find that again, I'm trying to reflect back on my journey. One of the, maybe I would say in some ways, a misconception of understanding the Dharma is that thinking that when I want to get engaged, let's say in practice, I need to really learn from all these things, and I can only practice when I'm wearing a uniform or getting engaged in activities. But a lot, I must just say, whatever we learn, we need to apply that in our daily life. So that part then, therefore, and back to Brother David's point, that if they can do that after the studies, right, after the study and they start working, and that may be a right time to actually try to germinate and nurture the seed to grow. And that's a good point, because when they start working, so the question is, what they have learned can apply to their work, right? So the whole practice of application of the Dhamma doesn't mean that I can only do that when I'm wearing my uniform, or I only engage in activities on recycling, home visits, so on and so forth. It also equally applies engaging with people, whether it's at work or whether it's at play or just social engagement. And I think that back to the point that Sister June saying about the school. So the school, Su Ching International School, teaches a lot of humanistic values. And that is very useful in growing up, to develop the people's skill, developing the virtues, and spreading the seed of great love to others. I'm not sure whether for Sister June and Brother David, whether you would agree with this. Sister June and Brother David?
Yes, I think I agree. Because no.
So how, I mean, for example, you love your children, how would you share with them so-called the spiritual values of the heart?
Okay, probably let's start with myself.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, when I was young, I would say that my mother is also very strict, but she would pray quite diligently, but of course at the time to at the temple, in the house with all the incense, okay, stuff like that. So but she's also very strict with discipline and values, you know. So she enforced things. So, but the value that she teach at the time, to me, is like, oh no, you're too strict, or sometimes during teenage years, a bit of kind of a rebel, you know. But the values that she instilled, it stays with you, right? It stays with you. So in this sense, so coming back to the children nowadays, I think it's the same. We want, or we can slowly or keep instilling this kind of values, right? But our younger age, as we age, you know, we will how to say, look back or think back. For me that at my time, so we will think back, and then that's, I mean, the core value is, the core is still there. If we don't do that, rather we may they may stray away. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on it.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, I'll come back on the points you brought up. Sister June.
I think I agree with Brother David on this. It's the foundation. So even in building houses, big mega buildings, the foundation must be very important. And for parenting, the foundation is actually the values, the good values. It doesn't mean you have to be a Buddhist to have good values. I myself is a Catholic. So all the values spread across it universally, it's the same. So as long as you build a solid foundation, then it doesn't matter where the child go to, they will be able to take that values with them and you know, keep it with them. Yeah, and hopefully pass it on. Yeah.
Okay, so Sister June, you say you're Catholic. You know what? When I was in my early years, when I still remember the first time we stayed there, I was staying on top of a church. I was staying, it was a house, and I was staying on the first floor, right on top of the church, and across was a temple, and I went to a Catholic school. Now, what you brought up for Brother David, you brought up about this discipline that the mom has instilled upon you. Obviously, your journey begin with, I would say, we begin a journey as in a path of prayer. So you saw your mom doing that. So I think that part of it, the point I guess you are saying is that you saw the devotion of the mom, right? And she instilled a discipline upon you. And then I think the same point that how Mrs. June said, well, we got to instill these values to them, but what's the foundation? So the point I'm trying to make is, whilst you can instill values to the younger ones and to your children, I think the two fundamental foundation that both of you has trying to say is you need to show your devotion first on your side, and how you would drive the discipline through your children, through virtues. So if the devotion that you show is the devotion in virtues, that is the one that opens up the heart. And that training that you instill upon them is the devotion of the virtuous heart. And the point about discipline that you were driving through, that's what the value you're trying to do is discipline. You see, I mean, discipline in some ways when you get into it, and children, especially children of this generation, they want to be empowered. And the condition in this world today, the teaches youngsters to be empowered. So, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that that whole discipline got to be angled in a way that that it's not just about you've got to behave yourself, but it's the discipline of the mind, isn't it? Right? So that part of the virtue of disciplining the mind is very much about disciplining, about benevolence, because it's the benevolence that put the interests of others ahead of yours. So, so when you drive that through about benevolence, and I can see that in the case of Sister June, of course, because I've seen the children, and how they would volunteer themselves to serve, because when they serve, you develop the caring heart and the serving mind. Now, it's from the serving mind that you put the interests of others ahead of yours, isn't it? And that's the virtue that you're trying to say. And that's serving in Su Ching, discipline you to do that. And so I guess is that, so that benevolence, what are you trying to develop? You're trying to develop humility. You're trying to develop being gentle in your ways. You're trying to develop people to be simple in their life, in their outlook. And Master often say that things are very simple in the world. It's just that your minds are so complicated, because we get very entangled in a lot of all these things. So I also for Brother David and Sister June. So to me, I mean, based on what you say, I find these 2 points that you just brought up about discipline and devotion as being a very good foundation, I guess, to show them. So, Brother David and Sister June, you got anything to add on this?
Yeah, I mean, the discipline is, it doesn't just go one way lah, from the elder to the younger. It's like what you mentioned correctly, disciplining ourselves first. That then only you can show all this virtue for them to emulate. Yeah.
So you're going to be a mentor.
Correct. As a role model, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sister June, anything to add on this?
I think it's also through serving, like you rightly pointed, it's also to get rid of their ego. And it's also the service above self mentality. Yeah. So that is what I hope my children will be able to do, the service above self. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So any last questions from anybody before we close off? I know that I was surprised by the local program was until 8:30, and most people would be heading to the end. Today is a weekend and heading to attend to the family. Sister Stephanie, where are you?
I'm in my house lah.
I thought you're going out for volunteering.
No, still wanted to. My kids are sleeping, so I have to take a queue. I'm going to ask whether got 0.5% chance or not they will wake up.
No, yeah, I learned something new today about that. 9 out of 10 times, there's 9.5 times is a no, but there is a 0.5 chance.
Throw in breakfast.
So I will remember this. That 0.5%, 5.5 chance.
On the outside, we see her kids are already inspirational role model.
I know.
Underneath, we don't know what has been going on, isn't it? Sis June,
So Sister June, we have to send our children and grandchildren for training by you.
No, just send them to Su Ching, can already. Join VCBC, you go together with them, you know.
Join VCBC, yeah.
Okay, Kanan, so much, brothers and sisters, for all your time for this wonderful Saturday. We had this morning sharing from the sisters in the UK, Sister Avaley, Sister Hsin-Ling, and Sister Alan. When I listened to the sharing this morning, obviously trying to instill this charity work in different country in varying conditions has been extremely challenging and difficult, but they get through that. It's pleasing to note also that they have Sister Alan, which getting the younger ones to be involved. So, and then we have Sister Angie and Brother David, and so as Sister June, who shared their journey on commissioning. And they will become the role models for the new batch of people to come in. And obviously, I myself are grateful for those who mentor me to be on this searchy path. So, with coming to 8:30, we will now end our session. And Sister Maple, are you taking us to end this session, or should I just offer the 3 bows?
Yeah, okay, I can off the session. God and everybody.
Okay, so we shall now offer 3 bows to end the session. I thank the masters and also all mentors who have come our way, and the inspiration that we shared with us to lead us on this journey. Okay, we take the first bow. Second bow. And the third bow. Okay, Kan En, so much for your attention, and it's very beneficial and inspirational at the same time for Bible sharers. All right.
Kan En, bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful hosting. And bye-bye. And everybody, wonderful sharing too. Bye-bye.